वंशी विभूषितकरान्नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरादरुणबिम्ब फलाधरोष्ठात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय नमः. Welcome to the Friday scripture class. And today's scripture is Uddhava Gita from the Bhagavatam. Uddhava Gita is a wonderful teaching by Sri Krishna to Uddhava about spiritual life. And in today's portion that we are going to study, there is very highly profound teaching about samsara vriksha, as we read in the 15th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita that taught by Sri Krishna, urdhva mula mada shakam, like that allegory is there, but in much detail. So let us go for it. In the book, that our textbook of the class, Uddhava Gita, the last message of Sri Krishna, uh, translated and explained by Swami Madhavananda. It is page 107, chapter 7, and verse 20. Verse 20, we just finished. 20 we have done last time. I am he jiva stri tribja yoni avyakta eko vayasa sadhya vislista shaktir bahudeva bhati bijani yonim prativatyatvat. So this Ishvara, one and undifferentiated at first, has his powers differentiated by time and appears to be of diverse forms, like seeds reaching proper fields. For he is the primeval one, the substratum of Maya, the component of the three gunas, and the cause of the cosmic lotus. This whole universe has come from one Lord, Ishvara. That's what it says. Like the seeds reach to the field and the plants are produced from the seeds. Like that from Ishvara, who is like the seed. In Bhagavad Gita also he says, Aham bija pradapita. He says, mm, I am the seed, I am the giver of seed, that Father I am. So God Himself is like the seed. That seed sprouts into this universe. So this universe is not just created by God, somewhere spreading and just He created, but God Himself transformed or created Himself, became this universe. That is the stand of Uddhava Gita or Bhagavatam. That this world is not unconnected with God, it is in continuum with God. God Himself appears as this universe by the power of His own Maya. And Maya having components, as its components, three gunas. So three gunas, that is the Maya, which is the power of God, Ishvara, that creates this universe out of itself from Prakriti or Maya, which is with the Lord, power of the Lord. From that, this universe comes. Like example given is seed, it transforms into the plant, into the tree. One seed transformed into a huge tree. So, like that is one God becomes a tree of this samsara. Samsara is given example of a tree. Seed is almost undifferentiated, and from it comes a tree which has roots and trunks and branches and leaves and flowers, fruits. So many varieties of things have come from one Ishvara. So many varieties of this creation have come. So creation and the creator are interrelated, are interconnected. That is the stand of Vedanta. It's not that God lives somewhere and He just created out of this world, out of dust. It's not that way. God Himself appears at this world, by this world created by God, by His power of Maya. Maya is what? God's own power that creates this universe. So God and creation are interlinked. God is not separate from this creation. This creation itself is God. The God appears as this creation. So that is the beauty of Vedanta, that where it says the reality is immanent in this universe. It is not separated, immanent. As Ishopanishad it says, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. So you see the world and you don't find God. But know for certain, try to understand that God, it covers everything that is created, whatever moving or unmoving, everything is covered by God. That is, God is present in everything of this universe. This universe is not separate from God. This God himself appears as this universe. So that is what the beautifully Sri Krishna explains this. So in this it says about what are the different things, powers, and it says about there are this Ishvara, one and undifferentiated at first, has his powers. What are the powers that is seen in the powers in the world? Such as the organs of speech, etc. All our organs are the powers that is manifested in the human body. Organs of speech, thoughts, ideas, all the powers manifested. Shakti is all play of Shakti. Seeds, etc. Just a tiny seed develops into a big tree with so many subdivisions. Similarly, one God appears as this multifarious universe. Cosmic lotus, it says about the cosmic lotus and the cause of this cosmic lotus, it is called that Abjayoni cosmic lotus. What is the cosmic lotus? The universe conceived as a lotus, as I was saying last time. Universe in Uddhava Gita, it is said as the cosmic lotus, not the cosmic egg, not Brahmanda, but as a Abjayoni, like the lotus flower, like a flower. That's how the you can compare this universe with this galaxies and solar system and the planets and the stars with whatever you like to think. It's like that, and just make it huge, vast. That becomes the universe. Let's go to next verse. यस्मिन्निदं प्रोतमशेषमूतं पटो यथा तन्तुवितानसंस्थः य एष संसारतरुः पुराण कर्मात्मकः पुष्पफले प्रसूते. So, what is this universe? Allegorically, he compares that with a tree. So, on whom as its and cloth, on whom as its warp and woof, this entire universe rests as a cloth on the network of threads. Let's see the example of cloth he gives. So I bring the example of cloth while describing the universe and its relation with God. So, in the cloth, there are woof and warp. Woof and tana bana, that's called in Bengali or in Hindi, tana bana. The threads going one direction, tana, another direction, bana. So that is the tana bana in the cloth you see. Now, what is this tana bana? Tana bana is the cloth. If we remove all threads that go longitudinally or horizontally, if we remove that, cloth is not there. And this woof and warp, that is the God. That is God. And God looks like this universe. The constituent of this universe is God alone. Nothing else other than God has become this universe. There's nothing else. That's why the Purusha Suktam of the Vedanta, it says, God wanted to be many and he sacrificed himself and created from him. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Mritam Divi. From its one quarter, the whole universe came. Brahmano Sati Mukhamasi Tena Rajan Bahu Rajanya Krita. Like that, from its mouth came the Brahmins, like that, with different categories of people. Brahman, I mean, different categories of people are born from that great being, which is thought of as a body. That whole body is sacrificed or melted to make the creation of this universe and human beings. From that body it came. So where the body came from? By sacrificing the Purusha or the God himself became this. Like that here also. The whole this universe of warp and woof of this universe is nothing but God. And if you remove warp and woof from a cloth, piece of cloth, nothing remains. God removed, there is no cloth. When this cloth appears because of warp and woof, we see only cloth. We can't see the warp and woof. They are so subtle, they are so fine. That's what the God is. God is immanent, like warp and woof in a cloth. If we had eye to see the minute things, subtle things, then we could see all God playing the role here in this universe. But as we are not trained to perceive the subtle things, we perceive only gross things. That person is walking, that person is doing that thing, he is good person, he is bad person, he is friendly, he is inimical, all that we see. But we can't see that all is being played by the God. There is nothing other than the God playing the role of friend, role of enemy, role of giving good thing, bad thing, happiness, misery. All is nothing but God in different forms. When we start seeing God in the things that happen to us, then we accept the things. It's all God that is responsible for the creation. It is God in different forms that transact with us, that deal with our life. Then there is no problem that we accept everything, good and bad. You don't seek only good and happiness, and you are very tired. Why me? Why me? Doesn't happen because why be? Everyone has a time of good thing and bad thing, happiness and misery. Everyone it alternates because that is how the world is created. World is a mixture and creation of three gunas. Sattva is serenity, peaceful, and nice, very silence, meditative. That is sattva. Rajas is active, and sattva brings peace of mind and a sort of happiness, inner happiness. And rajas is activity, passion, and want to acquire something, enjoyment, and as its result, there is suffering. All this enjoyment, seeking enjoyment, ultimately seeking enjoyment in the external object, it leads to suffering. That's what the Shastras say. That's what rajas creates suffering, dukkha. Ye hi sangsparsajat bhoga dukkha yonaya evate, says Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever are the sangsparsaja bhoga, all experience born of contact of sense of organs with the sense objects, like eating something. Tongue is in contact with a nice sweet, nice cake. So dukkha yona, it is a source of suffering. It's not always source of suffering. You can say we eat nice cake or nice ice cream. Why there is suffering? There is so much joy. But eat more, try to indulge in that, there is suffering. And if you enjoy it so much, all you look for this sangsparsaja bhoga only, then there is suffering. After you don't get that, after it finishes. One kid was having licking that chocobar. Hmm? After chocobar, he was eating nice, happy, happy. After some time, he was licking and then he started crying. Then mother said, "Why are you crying? I just gave you, you enjoy." Mother, every time I bring it out, it becomes smaller. What is that? It will finish. The kid had the sense that it will finish after some time. So he started crying. It's so sad. Every time I take it out from the mouth after licking, the size has reduced. It has become less and less. So now it will finish. After for that, he was crying. Antavanta ime deha. Everything is like have temporary. That's why it is suffering. So, ehi sangsparsaja bhoga dukkha yona, everything. That is what the Rajaguna is. And what is Tamoguna? Tamoguna is putting nothing there, no activity. It's all sloth, dullness, and inert, dark. Nothing is, no search for that. So these three categories make this our life. Three gunas make our life. So sattva leads to little happiness, real happiness, because it tries to seek happiness within himself. Rajaguna tries to seek happiness on the external object, and tamoguna tries to seek happiness in there is no happiness, all darkness. Adhere mero, let me be in dark and find joy. In darkness, where will be joy? You see nothing, only you see only yourself. Darkness is such thing. You are very self-centered, you don't care for anything in the world. Only you look at yourself, you perceive only yourself because everything is dark. That is tamoguna. So tamoguna cannot give you happiness. Even the sangsparsaja bhoga is not there. Bhoga of dwelling in your own ideas of bereft of work, bereft of activity, bereft of meditation, that type of joy seeking where there is no joy. So that is called tamoguna. These three kinds of gunas make this universe. So it is said that these three gunas cannot bring happiness to us. So here it says, on whom at its warp and woof this entire universe rests, as a cloth on the network of threads. So that is one example said that God is like warp and woof of this cloth, which is universe. The cloth that we perceive with the universe, its building material is warp and woof, the threads, and the thread is God. Universe as seen is the cloth, and cloth and thread and have whatever relation, that is relation between this creation and God. That is, God is the material, building material of this creation. That's why they say this um, in creation, what is needed is um, s- the things that creator, the one which is agent for creation and thing for creation. So those both are Maya making it. So the thing building blocks of creation is also Maya. The one who creates is also Maya, and Maya is not separate from God. Maya is the power of God. To say that Maya is separate from God, that's why Sri Ramakrishna said, "Don't deny Maya. I will cleave my way, not yielding to the Maya, and I will find God by my own effort. I will try to find God. I will do meditation. I will do japam. What Maya can do to me? Not for everyone. Only very rare people like Swami Vivekananda could say that Maya has no effect on me. All of us are under the domain of Maya. That's why accept the Maya and propitiate the Shakti that is Maya. And if Maya is happy with you, it will then be said to Maya, mother comes and say, why are you crying for me? Said, mother, I want to have the face of Brahman. How is Brahman? Can you let me see Brahman? Then Maya says, oh, it's there. And he says, it removes the curtain and you go and see the Brahman, the full of bliss. But by the grace of Maya alone, you can do. You go and forcibly you want to remove the curtain. You cannot do that. It's too heavy. It's too difficult. You cannot do. Only Narendranath can do that. Don't think yourself like Narendranath who can go beyond Maya, because Maya is part of God. It's powerful. So that is one example given. And this tree of samsara is now this samsara. One is given example is cloth, relation to with the thread. Now another example, very common example, samsara is like a tree. It's a tree. And why it is tree? Is it is ancient. Ancient means when it began, the samsara, individual, our samsara. Samsara is created by our own mind. When it began, in which life? Last past life, five lives earlier, we don't know. It is ancient, Purana. We don't know that. That's why it's called ancient. The samsara is always changing. Samsara is also the word both universe and transmigration. It is ancient. It is, we don't know from when, since when we are transmigrating, having birth and death. How many lives it cannot be counted. Oh, I was amoeba in like 500 years ago. You can't say that. Buddha counted his Jataka story 500 years ago. He was the incarnation of God. He remembered 500 lives. And but before that, what he was not saying. Even Buddha, the incarnation of God, who has no karma phala, even he says, I had to be born and die 500 times before I reach this Buddha, the Buddhahood. So what to say about us? How many times we have been died, we die, we are dead and we are born. So like that is a samsara. One way of samsara is that. Another is creation also samsara. But this both samsara are ancient. When it has come, we don't know, it's very old. Activity is its nature. Work creation means activity. Big bang. When there is big bang, there's a thing started. Activity started. It started going far. Then the small pieces started moving around. The small pieces means this Brahmanda's thing. Small in the sense that way. And they created solar system, nebula, planets, stars. All were created by that. And everywhere there is creation. Every planet there is action. There is nothing that is not active in this creation. You see this tree static, that is also active. Sthavaranam Himalaya. Is Himalaya just nothing, no action there? Himalaya also they say growing. They used to say Mount Everest is 8,848 meters. Now they are saying, no, it has increased 8,848 meters, 48.8 meters, like that. So everything is growing or diminishing or something going on. So everywhere in our Himalaya-like thing also changing, growing, melting, increasing, decreasing, everything happening. And every star and the planet is in tremendous activity. Our earth itself moving so fast, rotating. Sun seems to be static. It is also moving. No planet in the universe is just sitting quiet, because creation is activity. Activity is its nature of the creation. Activity is the nature of our body and mind, that is creation. That's why we want to steal the mind, stop the activity of running mind, and try to find the reality, which is not activity, which is beyond the guna. In reality, or in the Atman, there is no activity. It's just witness consciousness. It is just there, the pure consciousness, which is the witness. Why witness? Because it is present there. It not that it is watching everything that we do. Not witness in that sense. Witness in the sense, witness are two things. One is it is watching, another is it is present during the activity. Something happened. Oh, he's the witness. I saw him doing that. One is seeing. How did he see? Because he was present. So here, more than seeing, watching, it is present. The witness is always present. God is always present, and in the activity. Without the presence of consciousness, there is no activity possible. There is no without God, there is no creation possible. So God is creation. So, but God Himself is without any activity. Still, that's why we want to stop the activity of the mind in the dhyana yoga or raja yoga, and see and find which is without activity, akrita, which is not created, where there is no where there is no action. We want to reach that state, because our true nature is without creation. Our Atman is without activity, but somehow we are caught. That which is actionless has been caught in the activity of this Prakriti, of this creation, and has identified with only the action of creation and forgotten its own real nature. And because of the result of action is happiness and misery alternate coming, so we also have little of happiness and lot of misery. That's what the samsara is. And when this samsara began, it is ancient, very ancient time. This is samsara is called Santa, Anadi Santa. It is Anadi. There is no beginning. We cannot count its beginning. But it is Santa, Sa Anta, with end. It will one day, samsara will end. Our transmigration will end. Our seeing this multifarious universe will end. The universe that gives us happiness and misery will end. Then what will remain? Then only bliss of the Atman will remain. Our true self will remain. That's what is the promise of the Shastras, or the this prophets. Is its nature, and it produces flowers and fruits. The samsara vriksha produces flowers and fruits. Flowers are experience, and fruit is the fruit of that experience. All that's why it is samsara vriksha. It has it is a tree, samsara vriksha. Its activity, its nature. In tree, though it seems static, there's so much activity going on in the tree. Those how much this respiration, photosynthesis, and all other life activity going on so actively in the tree. It is not static. It is not that there is nothing happening. Just it seems not to be walking, but there is still movement of the tree. Branches are growing, leaves are unfolding, leaves are unfolding. There is movement also there. It just doesn't change, go from one place to other. Today I saw that mango tree there. Tomorrow I go, it is not there. Where it gone? Oh, it will walk to another place. It won't walk to other place, but there is movement of the tree that grows. It has grown taller, leaves are fallen, leaf has come again. Like that activity is there. So that's why this samsara vriksha so nicely compared with the samsara. And it produces flowers and seeds. The flowers, it produces experience, we experience in the samsara, and also fruit. we get the fruits of as happiness and misery. In the next verse, still in detail, Sri Krishna says, a very detailed account of this samsara vriksha. द्वयस्य बीजे शतमूलस्त्रिनालः पञ्चस्कन्ध पञ्चरसप्रसूति दशैकशाखो द्विषुपर्णनीडस् त्रिवल्कलो द्विफलोर्कप्रविष्ट. Wow, so many allegories again. How is this tree? It has got two seeds. Though, so this samsara vriksha has got two seeds. Seeds are virtue and vice. These are the seeds of samsara. Samsara comes from virtue and vice. We all are born with sub samskara, the punya and papa, something wrong and something right. That creates this our life because of the seeds of punya and papa. Punya also creates transmigration happens. You are very noble person. You are full of merit. Still, you have to be reborn until you have got the knowledge. So, if you own punya, then you will be reborn. So, and papa, you'll be definitely reborn. There is no other way. So, punya and papa are the two seeds of samsara, from which the samsara has come. Samsara means our own life. This is samsara. 100 roots and 100 roots. What are the roots? The roots of samsara are innumerable desires. You see how to treat the tree of samsara. We have so many desires. Only two seeds, virtue and vice, created this tree. From that it came. But it has hundreds of roots that it holds on. And those roots are hundreds of desires, never ending desires. I want something, and if it is fulfilled, oh, then it's fulfilled, no desire. It doesn't happen. The moment one desire finishes, another desire comes. It is like putting money in the stock market. You put money, then you get a dividend, it's success, but it doesn't stop there. Oh, no, I will not do any more investment. Next time you try to find out where you I'll get more investment, more profit. So no end of this desires to gain more and more money. This is only one example is stock market. Everything is like that. I work, I get the house, and then oh, nice house. I was trying to get it for a long time. This house, such a beautiful to my choice. But once you go in, then for some time you are very happy with that. But next time desire comes. You go to a friend's house and see, oh, this kitchen on this side was so beautiful. My house doesn't have it. Now desire come just by seeing. If I had a house like that, now you start seeing another house having kitchen on that side of your that dining room. The desire come. It is one desire for this kitchen and dining hall, but there are so many desires are there in us. We want to live long, we want to be happy, we want to enjoy, and there is no end of our want. So these desires are hundreds of desires which hold on to this samsara. These desires are holding on us to samsara, and they are hundreds in number, like the trees, like the roots of a tree. Very nicely compared with the roots. And 100 roots, and it says Shatamula Trinala, three trunks. The tree has not only one main trunk like a banyan tree, as Krishna himself says in the Gita that this world is like a banyan tree. Urdhamula madhasakam Aswatha Prahuravyam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Saveda Adhaschordham Prasritasya Shakha. Like that, it says the samsara is like a banyan tree, he says there. Banyan tree put upside down, and roots are top, branches are at the down. Root uprooted, upside down tree is the samsara, banyan tree. Huge tree, banyan tree has only one trunk. Why upside down? The roots, that connection is with God. But it's all Vedas and all branches are here. All branches are different desires that there is compared. So and you have this leaves as the Vedas, knowledge. There are on the tree of samsara, there are knowledge. So, but it is a tree. So you have to cut that tree. Aswattamenam suvirudamulam asanga sastrena dridena chitva. Don't be caught by this tree. It is not happy tree. This tree gives you miseries. So try to cut it. How to cut? By a weapon. Huh? What type of weapon? Asanga Sastra, detachment, weapon of detachment. Don't get attached to this samsara. And then it will slowly be cut. You will not be attached to this samsara. Here it says it is not one trunk like banyan, it has three trunks, more elaborate explanation of the tree. Sri Krishna gave the teaching of Gita earlier than this Uddhava Gita. So here more elaborate example is given, more enlarged and modified edition of the Bhagavad Gita examples are here. So what are the three trunks? It are three trunks, three main trunks. The three trunks are three gunas that make this tree: sattva, rajas, and tamas, as I tried to explain earlier. And what it says, Shatamula Trinala, Pancha Skanda, and it has five main branches. The main branches are what are the main branches? Five elements. What are five elements that constitute the branches? It is Shiti, Up, Marut, Tej, Vyom. That's what the five elements, subtle elements which create this samsara. Shiti is earth element, Up is water element, Tej is fire element, Vayu is air element, and Vyoma is space element, Akasa, sky, space element. So all these elements combine and recombine to very subtle. Those are earth element is not like the earth. It is very subtle. You cannot see that element. But those subtle elements combine and recombine with the process called panchikaranam and then create this gross element, this earth element, this sky element. The space that you see, that is not the subtle. It's so subtle you cannot touch it, you cannot hold it. But still it is subtle. It is subtle. No, it's gross that we see. The subtle will be how subtle you can imagine. So that is subtle. The water we see or any liquid, that is gross liquid up. So subtle you cannot see, you cannot touch. So but from that subtle thing has this come. So these five subtle elements are the main branches of this tree. Three trunks of gunas and five branches of mm, tattva, pancha mahabhuta, panchabhuta, five objects, five elements. The and what it says, dasaika shakho. It says that there are 11 and five elements, namely other, and the minor branches are the 10 organs and minor branches. Shaka is minor branches. Skanda is main branches and Shaka is minor branches. What are the minor branches? In 11 in number are 10 organs and manas. So all of us have 10 organs and manas. What is said in the Shastras is that not only human being have 10 organs, five organs of action, five organs of sense organs. So they make two, and one manas or mind is 11th organ, it is said. So every animal, every being has this 11 things, 11 organs. So where is the mind and hand and feet of the organs of action? Hand, feet, etc. comes, and tongue, etc. comes. So where is tongue and hand and feet in tree? Tree is jiva. Shastra will say they also have the one who is abhimani of the tree. Some being is there who thinks I am this tree. The jivatma is there. So that jivatma has this 11 organs. But because there is no external organ to support that inner organ, they are not able to use that organ. They have also feet, the jivatma in tree. It is also feet and hands and tongue. Everything is there. But as did not there, the tree doesn't have tongue, so it cannot speak. It doesn't have foot, so that it cannot walk. Though it has the indriya, as foot is there, pada indriya is there, karma indriya is there. It has hands, it can hold, but there is no hand to hold, so it remains all dormant in the case of tree. Similarly, in case of lower animals, earthworm, where is the tongue coming out in earthworm? There is mouth, no doubt. Like that, where is the hand to hold in earthworm? Nothing is there. But Shastras will say the Jiva earthworm has all five organs of actions. But as the body doesn't have corresponding organs, so it cannot use those organs, but it remains latent. Similarly, there are five organs of senses. So it has the eyes to see, and it has a tongue to taste, and it has a nose to smell. So earthworm doesn't have no nose to smell, but because it doesn't have external nose, that's why the faculty of smelling, getting smell, cannot be activated in earthworm. But it all has all these 11 minor branches called Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Gyanendriya, and Manas. Mind, everyone has. Brain has. Even if there is no brain, there is something that controls the activity of the animal. Even one cellular animal like amoeba has also mind. It doesn't have brain, but it has mind. That mind works through primitive, not there is no even nervous system is there in amoeba, or even the smaller, lower kind of animals. But still, they know what is food and what is not food. Like that, they will go what is light and what is darkness. They go from some go towards dark, some go towards light. They have all the senses in one cell. Whereas our all these bodily organs have so many cells, specialized cells. But in one cell, they do that thing. And they have full capacity to understand, taste, talk like us. But all those are limited and suspended and dormant because the body doesn't have those organs. That's why amoeba, Swami Vivekananda says, he's a Buddha. All Buddha evolved. And Buddha is amoeba evolved. It has also, amoeba also a very subtle desire to realize God. And with that desire, it will become multicellular. It will become more complicated, complicated animal after many lives, and finally it will become human beings. In human beings, primitive human beings, fully centered in the body and enjoyment. But it has desire to become Buddha and get liberation. So it will grow and spiritually grow, and finally it will become Buddha and say, Ihasane Sushyatume Sariram. I have been trying this from amoeba, not only 500 lives. How many lives amoeba has been trying to become Buddha? But that subtle Buddhahood is there in amoeba, says Swami Vivekananda. Buddha is manifestation of amoeba into the highest. It is the highest evolved being is Buddha. And amoeba is most primitive unicellular life. But amoeba has the capacity to become Buddha, all the capacity. And that's what every being has the capacity to evolve highest evolution. That's what the Vedanta is so positive and so inspiring philosophy. Don't have this disheartened for anything, for little failure, little unsuccessful. You can know, I could not realize God. What a treacherous fellow I am. I am very guilty person. I could not do this. I did. Why did I do the sin? Don't think that way. This life is a temporary phase in our long journey of lives. And we are all progressing towards Buddha, towards the realization of that ultimate bliss. And this is the phase, it will all go. Nothing here matters. This life is very insignificant and temporary. That this life, whatever we achieve, it's fine. Whatever mistakes happen, so many mistakes we have happened. But there is opportunity to rectify the mistake in this life, in next life, and to progress in the march of our life. So every opportunity is great, and the hope, that's why hope should be there. That one person said there were four candles, and it all wind came, and four candles where one was strength, another was love, another was peace, another was hope. And wind came, and after one blow of wind comes and blows the one candle, peace gone, love gone, success gone. Then only one candle was there. So in the meantime, one candle was there. It was the candle of hope. When little boy comes and he sees three candles are already blown out, he comes and lights all other three candles. Again, you have success, you have peace, you have love, and you have hope. So when till hope is there, so everything will come. So don't let hope go away from your life. They say that way. So we have hope to become Buddha one day. Swami Vivekananda said, everyone that is created has to realize God, has to reach to that highest state of wisdom. When one is identified with his or her own true reality, to realize Brahman, Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana is he or she will get. There is a possibility, everyone has the possibility. So don't be disheartened that it says. So what it said that 11, Dasai Kashako. Then it says Dvisuparna Nida, and the big tree with three main trunks and coming from two seeds and having hundreds of roots and five main branches and 11 minor branches. There is also in trees. What are there? If you read Mahabharata, the scripture, it will describe about the tree, how one tree is not only one life, like one tree is supposed to be one life. It is not one life. In Bengal, we had the slogan, Ekti Gas, Ekti Pran. One tree is one life. So whenever you destroy one, you plant that another life. Don't remove that. Life, it equals to life. The tree is so important. But Mahabharata says one tree is not one life. It is many lives, various kinds of life. Watch closely. How many things have taken shelter in that banyan tree? So many ants are there moving around. So many birds are there. There will be bats. There will be fireflies. So many animals of different kinds get the shelter in that one banyan tree. So banyan tree is the shelter, giving shelter for lives. That's what our life is also. If we live only for ourselves, that will become very selfish, and we are not making our human life really human life. So if one banyan tree can give shelter to so many other life forms, we as human beings should be able to give service, shelter. We should be able to be of help to other people, other animals, other life forms. That's what the real human being is. Then you become like banyan tree. When Swami Vivekananda said to Sri Ramakrishna that I want to become, to go into samadhi, it's so blissful. Samadhi is like an addiction. People have addiction now with many things that they do, cannabis addiction. Samadhi also is like addiction. So, and this addiction is very high degree of addiction. It is so joyful. This our cannabis people can never reach that. 0.1% also cannot reach that. So this is so high. Swami Vivekananda had that experience by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna asked him, what do you want to do in life? What do you want in life? And he says, oh, you want to give me? Then I want to always remain in samadhi, in deep samadhi, not only light samadhi, deep samadhi. And because that is so blissful state, only those who have experienced that, they will know. One journalist in India, he wrote that, oh, they call up samadhi, but and they call up joy of samadhi. It won't be better than what will be more joy than drinking two pegs of whiskey. So that was his thing. So another commentary wrote, this guy, this journalist, he must have experienced the whiskey, pegs of whiskey, but he has never experienced samadhi. How we can compare the joy of samadhi with the whiskey? So like that, here also they said, that this is the joy is incomparable to anything. Sri Ramakrishna should be very happy that his disciple wants to remain in samadhi, wants to be with God, and doesn't want anything of the world. He has reached that high state. But what he says, what a, what a petty idea you have. Ki heen buddhi. What a petty idea you have. I thought you would be like a banyan tree and give shelter to many scorched people who are scorched by the heat of sun of samsara, having miseries of samsara. They will come to you and they will get shade and cool breeze under your shade. You will be serving them, but you want yourself that bliss. You should be able to give joy to others, bliss to others, and you yourself get the heat of sun. banyan tree, what it does, you may have little suffering, but what a great joy to serve others, to give joy to others, to help others. That I thought you would be. It is a very selfish thing to say, I will want to the bliss of samadhi and don't care for other people. No, that is not the right thing. Sri Ramakrishna's direction. Swami Vivekananda understood the bliss. The real purpose of life is to give happiness, joy, light, direction, spirituality to others. And he was talking with his disciple, Swami Vivekananda, later on in 1898 or sometime. He was talking with a disciple. And Swami Vivekananda says, you see, the real thing is to take everyone to liberation. Until anyone is ignorant and not liberated, has not tasted the bliss of samadhi, you cannot have the bliss of samadhi. All you should be together. Samasti mukti. All will have mukti together. And the disciple said, he was a very learned person, Sarat Chandra Chakravarti. He said, but there is nothing written like that in the Shastras, that each individual will try for mukti. How can all will have mukti together? So Swami Vivekananda said, there is something there. It may not be everywhere, but just see the sheer greatness of this idea. I will have mukti with all. We all be together, have lived emancipation. See the idea, see the heart of that person. So what Sri Ramakrishna taught him, that you have to seek joy of all of you. That's why this banyan tree giving seed, giving shade to others. Now this, as banyan tree has supports many lives, so great person also supports so many lives. One great person come Ramana Maharshi. And how many people got enlightened, got removed their miseries? Buddha, you see, how many people suffering from miseries? They went to Buddha and got peace of mind. The story of Kisa Gautami, her only widow and her one son died. What she will do? She went to Buddha and, please revive my son from death. I cannot live without him. So Buddha said, now go and bring the mustard from a house where nobody has died. Nobody has heard or seen anybody dying. So she couldn't find any house like that. But she got the wisdom. She couldn't find the mustard, but she found the wisdom that death is inevitable. You cannot do anything with death. And came peaceful to Buddha and said, Lord, I don't have any problem now. My eyes are open. From darkness to light, she has gone. That is the role of the teacher, Buddha. Sri Ramakrishna also likes that. Swami Vivekananda also like that. One person comes and finds the life too miserable, comes with his wife, and Swami Vivekananda talks him about the Vedanta, about the purity of the heart, about the reality of our soul, and he comes out, and they were very miserable. Husband was very miserable. Then husband looks to wife and says, what this person said, this yogi said in America, that makes life is real. It is meaningful. Nothing to be worried about. All this burden of all problem has been solved. One lady goes to Swami Ranganathanadaji and she says, she was a young lady doctor, and she told to him about all her struggle in life, being a woman, a student, and all that. And while saying, relating her to Swami Ranganathan in Delhi, she was shedding tears and telling the woes of her life, struggle in life, all the things, difficulty in life, and crying all the way. Ranganathanji listened full 1 hour without saying anything. And she was crying and shedding tears. And after she finished, Ranganathanji just said one thing. From this moment, all your troubles are gone. All your problems are over. That much he said. That lady came out away from Swami Ranganathanji, and she felt so light. Really, all problems were vanished. What he was struggling, what she went through, how life seemed to be uncertain, what will happen, everything seemed to be so light and so peaceful. That lady herself has told me this story. She lives in Canada. So, like that thing happens, they can absorb by their grace, remove all the problems of life, and life becomes light, livable, and life feels to be there is much thing to do. It's not only one thing that we experience difficulty in life. I mean, it's not the only thing. So, just by their presence and just by their blessing, they can remove all that. That is what the banyan tree is. So banyan tree supports life. What supports life here? It says Dasaika Shako Duisuparna Nida. There is one nest in that banyan tree of samsara. And there are two birds in that nest. Samsara, our body, our being, our personality. There are two birds. There are hundreds of desires and 11 the sense organs and mind, and there are so many things. But there are two birds also in our personality. What are the Dushapan and Nira in the nest of our being, in the nest of our this tree, samsara tree? What are these two birds? These two birds are. Um, what is it? The birds are the Jiva and Paramatman. As it is said in the Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Jiva and Dwa Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Vriksham Parisasvajate. There is self and tree, and in that tree there are two birds. So one bird is eating fruits, sometimes eating sweet, and the tree has both sweet and bitter fruits, and they look similar. Thinking that fruit is sweet, it goes and eats, finds it very bitter, very disturbed, and it looks here and there and sees one bird is there up, it is quiet, not eating anything, not disturbed, but very serene, and then slowly hops it up. And then finally it goes there to find out what is the so peaceful demeanor. And I am suffering here, sometimes eating bitter, sometimes enjoying, sometimes suffering. So it goes there to ask that bird, what is the secret of your serenity and peace? Going there, it finds the light came from that bird, and this bird, which is hopping from down to up, it just vanished. And then it realized there was no existence of down bird. It just seemed that only one bird was there. So two birds allegory here also. It says two birds, one is Jivatma, one is Paramatma. Jivatma with the ego that goes on roving, desiring, working, this all with the bound by three gunas. And another is Paramatma, always serene, the source of all activity, the witness consciousness, that is the full of bliss, that is there. So these two birds are there in this tree of samsara. And what are other things? Other things are, it says, uh, Dushaparna Nida, Pancha Rasa Prasuti. And the, the tree exudes five types of saps. Pancha Rasa Prasuti. Prasuti means exuding, creating. The saps are the five sense objects, namely touch, taste, etc. What are the Pancha Rasa five saps? Are the sense organs. It says 10 sense organs. It said earlier, not especially about the five saps that come, sense organs that go for seeking something, eyes, ears, sight, like that thing, hearing, tasting, all that. These are all things that you are rasa. You try to find the happiness in those things, seeing something nice, tasting something better. All this, these are the saps. This produce, but not that always what you think is tasty and joy producing happiness, it doesn't happen, but that is always there. All these saps are there. Then what is there else in this thing, in this tree? Dvisuparna Nira, Trivalkalo, and Dvifalorka Pravista. There are three Valkala. There are three Valkala means three, what you call skin, not skin, bark. The bark refers to the nervous, bilious, and lymphatic temperament. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, that Ayurveda says, different temperament of the body is described by three layers of bark that this tree has. So, and there are Dvifalo Arka Pravishta, and there are two fruits that this tree produces. It itself came from two seeds and it produces two fruits. There are two fruits hanging, two birds in the nest, like that. So, what are the two fruits? The fruits are happiness and misery. That is the result of samsara. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes miserable. And it is not sometimes misery, happy, and sometimes miserable. Mostly miserable. Very few times we are happy. That is the samsara tree. So Krishna says, don't indulge in the samsara tree. Asanga sastrena dridhena chitva. Cut the samsara tree. Don't get indulged in this little happiness you get. Then when you cut this samsara attachment to this personality, and you get knowledge of your true self, then you get the bliss that is so great compared to all this happiness that you get from this fruit. One fruit is happiness, but when you seek one happiness, only true fruits, it is said, one is happiness and only misery. But there are so many miserable fruits, only few are happy fruits. So that is what the nature of samsara, lot of misery and few happiness. When Sri Ramakrishna was saying this thing to some devotees, and he says samsara, what it gives, last more of, mostly it is all misery and suffering. Little happiness comes, little pleasure comes. And after listening all that, that Grihastha said, whatever you say, Mahashaya, they used to call Mahashaya, whatever you say, Mahashaya, but all together, all misery, but there is all together, it's base. It is very living like. It is not to be thrown away. This life of samsara is very nice. One devotee told, you used to talk Swamiji about khandana, bhava bandhana and all that. Why this you want to cut this bandhana? I enjoy this bandhana, having this thing, relation, suffering, and all trouble. And that person got divorced, wife left him, and children have grown, somehow surviving. But still he enjoyed that suffering of life and said, no, khandana bhava bandhana, don't sing that way. I enjoy this bandhana. The khandana is not needed of this. This bondage is fine. So little happiness is there. Sometimes you get. Some Sri Ramakrishna described the samsara, joy of samsara, like the fruit called amra. Amra is a little sour fruit and be quite big, and it has very thin skin and big the shell, stone in the center. That is the seed, and the thing that you can eat is very thin and it has little taste. Other thing is just you have to throw. That is what samsara, only little thing. And Sri Ramakrishna says that is little tasty, little sour. But if you eat more, it creates amlasula, it creates colic pain. So that is what samsara is. So there is no real joy in samsara. Those who say life is fantastic, this bondage is fine, some milia base. You said to Sri Ramakrishna himself. So, but that is not the real joy because we have not tasted the bliss of love of God. We have not tasted the Bhajanananda or Brahmananda. That's why this Vishayananda is everything for us. Because we have not tasted the joy of Samadhi, that person is happy in the most blissful thing for that person, for that journalist, is drinking 2 packs of whiskey. So, like that is the thing for many persons. And this tree, finally, is Arka Pravista. This tree enters into the solar sphere. How can tree be so big? This tree entering the solar sphere. What it means is our samsara chakra, this transmigration happens when we go up to the sun. So when you go beyond the sun, enter into the sun, the solar sphere. It is said from fire we go to sun to moon, and from sun, if you go beyond sun, then you have mukti. So samsara vriksha enters only up to the sun. That's why you have to come back again and again. Seeds are produced, it will be born, it will germinate, and again the samsara chakra starts. So this is how the samsara is. Someone said, oh, samsara is no problem, but I don't want to be born again, I want mukti. What is there much to get in samsara? Again, you are born and then trouble and all the scoldings of the teacher, getting admission test in the primary school, so difficult. So I don't want to be born again and getting admission and the study and exam and the scolding of the teachers and parents' expectation. Oh, too much in the student life in the beginning. And after that, there is a job searching and this searching and all that. It's better to have lot we have experience. Now mukti, all freedom from this, will be merged in that blissful state called Brahma Jnana. That is the thing that we seek. That's here begins today's this thing. So wonderful explanation of Samsara Vriksha. Still, it is there, continuing. Next class will be there. Thank you. So, today is 20th, 27th. So, today is the last class before our winter vacation. Our winter vacation is from 25th December to January 31st. We'll again begin our scripture class in the month of February. The first Friday of February, we'll resume again with either the Gospel or the Uddhava Gita. Till then, thank you very much and all the best for this winter time, and Merry Christmas and very Happy New Year to you all. We'll have New Year celebration as Kalpataru Utsav on 1st of January. And on Sunday, this Sunday, 22nd December, there is Holy Mother's birthday celebration. And it is on the Tithi on which the Holy Mother was born is this Sunday. And Holy Mother was born, the day she was born, it was 22nd December. That year also the Tithi was on 22nd December. This year also the Tithi is on 22nd December. That year, 1853. So that year, it was the day was Thursday. This year, the day is Sunday. So please join if you can, if weather is good and if you can drive, come for the celebration. Or we'll even do it live streaming. Watch on the in your system, in your device. Now the closing chants. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmu. Good night to everyone.